I heard it for the first time at exactly 2:17 a.m. Not a knock, not a scratch, just 3 soft taps. They came from somewhere inside my apartment. At first I thought it was the pipes. Old buildings make strange noises at night. Anyone who has lived in one knows that. But pipes don't tap in perfect rhythm, and pipes definitely don't move closer every night. The first night I ignored it. The second night I turned on every light in the apartment. The third night I realized something was very, very wrong because the tapping was coming from my bedroom door. I live alone. Small apartment. 3rd floor. Old building that probably should have been demolished years ago. Thin walls, creaky floors, and a hallway light that flickers like it's in a horror movie. But I never believed in that stuff. Ghosts, spirits, paranormal nonsense. At least, not until that week. The tapping started on a Monday. I was half asleep when I heard it. Soft, almost polite. Like someone knocking but trying not to wake anyone. I checked my phone. 2:17 a.m. I remember that clearly because I even laughed a little. My brain immediately went to those stupid horror stories online where everything happens at exactly the same time every night. I rolled over and went back to sleep. No big deal. But the next night, it happened again. 2:17 a.m. This time I sat up. The sound came from the hallway outside my bedroom. I stayed completely still, listening. Silence, then again. Slow, deliberate, like someone tapping their finger on wood. I got out of bed and opened the door. The hallway was empty. Bathroom door open. Kitchen dark. Front door locked. Nothing. I even checked the building hallway outside my apartment. Still nothing. So again, I told myself it was the pipes, or maybe a neighbor, but deep down, something about it didn't feel normal. Because the tapping had a pattern, 3 taps, every time. Night 3 was when things changed. Again, 2:17 a.m. But this time, it wasn't in the hallway. It was closer, right outside my bedroom door. Not the hallway wall, the door. 3 taps, clear as day. I froze in bed. My heart started beating faster. And then I heard something else. Breathing, very faint, right outside the door. Slow, heavy, like someone standing there, just waiting. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. The light pointed straight at the door. Nothing moved, but I didn't open it. I just sat there staring at it for what felt like hours. Eventually, I fell asleep again, and when I woke up the next morning, there were 3 small marks on the door, like someone tapped it with something hard. That was the first time I started feeling real fear. I asked my neighbors if they heard anything. No one did. I even asked the guy who lives across the hall if he knocked on my door that night. He looked confused, said he was asleep. Everyone was asleep, but the tapping kept happening. Every single night, 2:17 a.m., always 3 taps, but every night it got closer. Night 4. The taps came from inside my room, not the door. The wall beside my bed. I jumped out of bed and turned the light on instantly. Nothing there, just a blank wall. I pressed my ear against it. Silence. But then... the taps came from the other side of the wall, which was strange because that side should have been the building hallway. Concrete, no pipes, no wiring, nothing. Just solid wall, and yet something tapped back. At this point I started recording the sound. I put my phone on the nightstand and waited. 2:17 came, and the taps happened again. Right beside the bed. When I played the recording back the next morning, the taps were there. But something else was too. A whisper, extremely quiet. So quiet I didn't notice it at first. But when I increased the volume, I heard it. A voice, right after the taps. It said one thing. Closer. That was when I stopped sleeping normally. I started staying awake every night waiting for 2:17. Watching the walls. Watching the door. Watching everything. The tapping always happened. Always 3 taps. Always closer. Until night 7. The night I wish never happened. 2:17 a.m. I was already awake. Lights off. Room silent. Then... But this time, the sound came from somewhere impossible. My closet. I slowly turned my head. The closet door was slightly open. Just a few inches. I was sure I closed it earlier. Then I heard the whisper again. Much clearer this time, right behind the closet door. It said, "You heard me." My entire body went cold. I grabbed a baseball bat I keep beside the bed, slowly walked toward the closet. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I grabbed the handle and pulled the door open. Nothing. Empty closet. Just clothes, shoes, boxes. But on the inside wall of the closet, there were 3 fresh dents in the wood. I didn't sleep at all after that. I left the apartment early the next morning. Went to work, tried to act normal, but I kept thinking about the whisper. Closer. You heard me. What did that mean? That night, I decided to try something. Instead of waiting for the tapping, I tapped first, at exactly 2:16 a.m. I sat on the bed and knocked on the wall beside me, 3 times. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, from inside the wall, something tapped back, but not 3 times. 4. And the whisper came immediately after, right beside my ear, even though the room was empty. It said, "Almost." I ran out of the apartment that night. I didn't even grab my keys, just ran. I slept in my car. The next day I called the landlord and told him everything. He obviously didn't believe me, but he did mention something strange. Something about the previous tenant, a guy who lived there before me. Apparently he complained about noises too, knocking in the walls, whispers at night. He moved out suddenly, left most of his stuff behind. The landlord joked about it, said the guy probably just went crazy. But then he said something that made my stomach drop. The tenant's favorite hobby was recording paranormal sounds. He used to try communicating with spirits through tapping. 3 taps meant hello, 4 taps meant come closer. That night I stayed at a friend's place. No tapping, no whispers, nothing. I thought maybe leaving the apartment solved it. Maybe it was all in my head. Maybe the place was just messing with me. But around 2:17 a.m., my phone vibrated on the table. I looked at the screen. There was a voice recording saved on it, recorded automatically. Length 7 seconds. I don't remember recording it. But when I pressed play, the first thing I heard was tapping. 3 times. Then the whisper, clearer than ever, right inside the microphone. It said, "You answered." And right before the recording ended, there was one final sound. Not tapping, not whispering, just breathing. Very close, like whoever recorded it was standing right behind me. If you've ever heard tapping in the walls at night, 3 slow knocks at the same time every night. Don't answer it. And whatever you do, don't tap back, because once you respond, the sound might start following you too. So tell me something. If you were in my place, would you have tapped back?